Hi everyone, Morgan and Firefly here. Today we're going on another adventure in the Blueprince demo. Originally I didn't intend for this one to be a full run through, however some crazy things have happened, so I wanted you to see them too. So I actually started recording this footage to get some shots for guide videos and also to maybe gather some new rooms and particularly items to combine in the workshop, because I've not been getting much luck with that, so I just wanted to see what can you actually do with that. I started just doing the standard things like gathering some keys and gems from the basic rooms like the nook and the parlor, the den. So nothing too interesting to begin with. I do find the car keys early on in the guest bedroom. Previously, anytime I had car keys, I ended up not finding the garage, and anytime I had the garage, no car keys. Now, one of the things I'm also trying to be doing now is filling in as many spaces as possible, especially at the bottom, because that's how I think you basically go through a lot of the common rooms and therefore are more likely to unlock the rarer rooms, or not unlock them. You're more likely to start drafting the rarer rooms because the more common things are not in the pool. I don't actually know what the full mechanics are for drafting specific rooms. Like, it does feel like the rarer rooms appear higher up in the manor, but at the same time it could be just because you've already used up all of the more common rooms, now you're starting to draft them. And of course black is partial to it. Maybe the making wishes in the well actually contributes to it in some way. Now I'm just really going for filling up this corner. Normally I would probably think about corridor being better higher up because it is unlocked. And the billiard room comes in, also fitting perfectly around the corner. 2 keys is okay. I think finally deciding on a dead end here, just trying again to get it out of the draft so I have better choices when I go up further up. Salt is on the table. I think it's kind of sneaky that this is where you can find this item. You could possibly miss it thinking it's just decoration. The lockpick this time not doing a good job. I go for utility closet here as I'm looking to unlock the gemstone mine. Well, now security has an extra door, but actually it goes into the same slot as the kitchen, so it's still not a guarantee that I wouldn't have gotten stuck. But since I'm thinking about capturing this specific footage, it drives my choice here. I think I understand the rules of this a bit better now. Instead of trying to turn the individual lights first, you have to go all green and then moving to blue, purple over the line, and only at the end you're looking at switching individual colors. Security right after utility closes is pretty good, as we get to basically disable all the keycard doors and make them as common as we can so that they become free unlock doors, and that means they will replace doors that would otherwise consume our keys. Courtyard's really good here, and we get a sledgehammer just to kick us off. Quite quickly the keycard doors start paying off. We only have 1 key, so that's pretty good for us. Always remember to get your gems from the safes as soon as you know the combinations. They're available on every day of the run, so you can get them out every time. That basically makes a boudoir a room with a gem automatically. The drawing room, you get full refund. The office, it has a safe as well. It costs 2 gems, but assuming there's 1 gem in the safe, that makes it cheaper at least. Here's the workshop, which I pick since one of my objectives is to try and combine items. None of those items combine. Well, the lever combines with a sledgehammer, but there is a third item required that I have never found what it is. At this point I am thinking those rooms are actually laying out quite nicely with a lot of the spots filled fully, so it might not be the worst run. The shoes, well, they don't help you in any way to get further with your exploration. They're definitely great, yeah, for larger house when you might be doing a lot of back and forth, trying to use specific combinations of room functionalities or gather things that you spread. Get the garage on day 1, that's pretty exciting. Now, in my excitement that I can go outside, I forget I have the car key at this point. So that one will have to wait a little bit. Big little shit again, trying to get items for the workshop, and I get both the metal detector and the shovel. Playing explode already in the house, and the metal detector is pretty good for boosting your keys and coins. Now, here I picked the dark room. Previously, when I was going to the utility closet, I said, oh, you can turn off the dark room so you can save a step. You don't have to go in to trigger it, you just go back to turn it off. Now, what I am also thinking now is that since I reached rank 8, the dinner should be ready for me, but not quite connecting the dots that you have to step into rank 8 to trigger the dinner. It's not enough to just place a room in it. I make it back to the workshop and discover the metal detector and the shovel actually combine into a detector shovel, which further improves our chance of finding keys and coins, both when going around the house and when digging. So that's a bit of a different case to when we combined the lockpick and the metal detector, because that seemed to only make a better lockpick and the metal detector functionality was lost. But here it seems to do the job of both the tools. It's a boosted shovel that is more likely to dig up keys and coins, and it's still a metal detector while you walk around the rooms. Now it does mean you're probably less likely to get any gems when digging, but then a lot of the times you're digging you get trash or nothing. This is the moment I realize I forgot to step into the dark room and therefore did not trigger the dinner. But oh well. I was able to buy the club sandwich in the kitchen, so I'm not completely exhausted yet. Yes, here's the dinner bell for when dinner is served. I get the keycard, which so far I think is like one of the more useless items, because you are going to draft the utility closet and you are going to draft security. They're both common rooms and they have other utility, so it just feels so much easier to use them to turn the keycard doors off than to try find the keycard and use it. Maybe it will have other use later, but right now I'm actually disappointed when that's the item I get. The first upgrade disc. It's a hallway upgrade. I decide on the key, because keys are a very precious resource. The one when you get an extra hallway when you draft, that's an interesting one for when you have more than the demo 4 days, because obviously the longer you play, the more hallways you have. And, you know, extra doors are good. Now, because I have the conference room, the money is all gonna be waiting for me in neat piles in that single room. So less backtracking needed. Here is where it turns out that I didn't misplay the dinner situation. I was actually just waiting for the weight room to appear. So I only do 7 of my steps here and then I get to boost them back up with the dinner I didn't previously eat. Since the weight room takes half your steps, having more steps on you at the time increases your penalties. The coin purse is also doing a lot of lifting with all those coins. And now that I've filled the house with red rooms, I also get to have some tomato soup as a little snack for additional 20 steps. So really, us versus the weight room, we win this time. Completely, everything went as planned. I did not have any misplays. I knew this was going to happen 100%. Still got plenty of coins thanks to the office. And they have an upgrade disc for sale in the shop. So that's our second one this day. And I get some gems with the rest of my money. Because I was feeling a bit low. I see the freezer here, but I don't pick it yet because I feel it's like a end of run room, since it removes your ability to use coins and gems for the day. So I'm hoping it will appear again a bit later once I'm done filling in the available spaces. Time for our second upgrade. This time it's the storeroom. I once again lean on the extra key because I think that's like one of the more important resources in terms of filling up the house and making sure you see as many rooms as possible. Now it's time for some tough choices. I want to keep exploring, so the archives leave me with no choice but to pick them. I've not have good previous experiences with the archives after they have previously tricked me into some terrible choices. But at least they gave me a gem. Here's the freezer again. I'm running out of doors, so this time I decide to pick them. Now, my resources freeze, but this time I actually go in to inspect it, and indeed, there is keys and gems around, some other items into this separate freezer. One of them appears to be a letter. I cannot tell what's in the other section, but there's also something that looks like a frozen door. So I think I'm pretty right about what I said before, where we're gonna need to figure out a way to defrost the freezer. Here we go again. Archived Blueprince gives me a furnace. But this time, something very interesting happens. My frozen resources defrost. Meaning I get access to them again, even after being in the freezer. Now, curious about the mechanics, I return to the freezer again, just to see if it will have this effect, and indeed it does, which means you don't have to pull it at the end of day. You can do it earlier and then refreeze it, which makes sense considering that there are 2 gems in the freezer, and therefore if you release them but your assets were frozen, you wouldn't be able to take them. But that also probably means if you defrost the freezer itself, your assets will unfreeze, so you will not get the benefit, but you will get the benefit of getting whatever secrets are in the freezer. By now I remembered I have the car keys, and now I find another upgrade disc. That's 3 upgrade discs in first day of playing. That's an extremely good setup. This time I'll get an upgrade for the boudoir, which I haven't seen. And our choices are +1 gem, we've saved that makes that room 2 gems, +2 dice or +3 apples. Dice are also extremely powerful because you basically get to save yourself from some really bad picks. So I think that's a pretty good thing to have available. This ends my run, so I didn't get to fill all of the slots, but I filled majority of the blueprint. Now I'm quite curious about how I will be able to get the furnace to affect the freezer so we can actually defrost what's in there. How will we be able to make the connections between the rooms? The way I have it laid out right now, they're next to each other and there doesn't appear to be any interaction between them, only when I walk in and out of those rooms. So I still have to figure out if the two can be connected and how. So yeah, I think that's the most elaborate house summary I had. Red banquet hall of fire and ice, triggered by having 6 red rooms, then the various food and drink related rooms like the dining room, kitchen, wine cellar, pantry and freezer. Who would have thought the furnace actually has some use and it isn't there just to taunt me? I'll see you again soon on another adventure.